Hey everyone, thanks for joining. I'm Anthony, I'm a CPO and co-founder of Siit, and very happy to be here today. We're going to talk about something that every IT team has tried to fix, and most of them actually haven't, the app provisioning. And we are not going to talk about theory, but in real practice with real experts, real numbers, and a live demo of how you can set up in your organization. And I'm really happy to be with two of our great partners, David Lepinay, who is IT director at Mirakl. David has done something that most IT team has dreamed of. He has fully automated their provisioning. We had the chance to work with his team, and they have done a great work in automated the full process. So very happy to have him with us today. And Chris, who is a principal strategist at JumpCloud. I guess most of you know JumpCloud already. JumpCloud manage the identity, the device access for more than thousands of organizations. And he's going to share how they see the market, what is the gap between what the IT team wants to automate and what still need to be automated. Yeah, very happy to have him with us also today. So now let's jump directly in the subject. I guess if we take a step back and name the real problem is why the app access is still the number one reason of IT ticket creation. And IT team are spending a lot of time. We all know that what needs to be automated, and yet they are still taking a lot of time and struggling doing so. We know that every piece of data is already here in the HRIS, in JumpCloud, in the ticketing system, but yet all the process is being done manually every single day. So the question is not really what has to be automated. We agree on that. But the real question is why there is still such a massive gap between what the IT team wants to automate and what actually is being automated today. And Chris, I know that you have done a big research across hundreds of organizations. What's the data tell us? Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Of course. Firstly, thanks so much for having us today. I'm really excited to be here, and I'm excited to watch the live demo. Good luck with that. That's always nerve-wracking in this kind of thing. So looking forward to seeing the live demo. And as I said, happy to be here and talk to you today. And this first slide that we put up is showing that we've got 200,000 customers across the world using JumpCloud, and we don't put this up to brag. It's not a flex about how successful we are. It's just try and show that we've spoken to lots and lots of customers. We see that the way that they work, and we see the frustrations that they have and the way they operate. So what we find in this kind of data gives us lots of insights into the way that these customers are using JumpCloud and are using IT in general at the moment. So let's talk a little bit about the numbers behind the disconnect, because what we're seeing, everyone's talking about automation. It's the kind of buzzword, everyone's talking about it all the time. But what we're seeing is that 57% of organizations are kind of investing in security and threat detection, which is what we'd expect, right? That's a high number. It's a big topic. It's being spoken about all the time. But then the numbers start to fall. If we look at kind of 52% invest in automation around identity and access management, and 49% are investing around help desk tier 1. And this is critical for what we're going to talk a little bit about later, because this is a number that should be much higher than it is currently. But this is kind of setting the scene of where we are now. So I love this slide because this shows the difference between perception and reality. So 40% of the IT teams across the world that we speak to sort of self-assess them as being AI mature. It's kind of, they see themselves as being AI mature, 40% of them. When we look at it in more detail, only around 22% of those actually are. Now, it goes without saying a little that this audience we have today, I think, are probably more in the 40% bracket, because you've taken the time to come and listen to this call and to learn more about this. So don't beat yourself up. I think that you are probably in the kind of top 40% of that bracket. So again, don't beat yourself up too much about that 22% number. So we've got a disconnect, as I mentioned before, with what IT departments want to automate and what is still being done manually. So IT departments want to automate user provisioning. It's something that we've spoken about for years. They want to automate identity and access management. As mentioned, we want to automate help desk tier 1 requests. This is expensive, time-consuming, simple work that is ripe for being automated. And we want to automate offboarding. This is a critical component of the life cycle of an employee, perhaps more important or as important as the initial provisioning and onboarding. So that's what IT departments want to automate. And you'll see on the other side what is still being done manually. Now, you may think, Chris, you've made a mistake here. You've just copied the same table across to the other side of the slide and not updated it. And I did a copy and paste, but it's deliberate because it's exactly the same. We're still seeing that users are being provisioned manually by IT teams. We're seeing that identity and access management is being provisioned manually. We're seeing that help desk tier 1 requests are still just that. They're being dealt with by an actual human being, tier 1 help desk technician. And we're also seeing, worryingly, employee offboarding still being done manually, which is a huge risk, as I'm sure you know, because that can lead to errors and all kinds of mistakes when an employee leaves an organization. So it's not a mistake. Please do not adjust your set. I think that the disconnect we have here is that IT wants to automate the things on the left, but those very same things are still being done manually, and that's a challenge. So let's look at this slide here. It's called the event that goes nowhere. I think it really kind of visually explains what we're talking about at a very high level. You may have an HRIS system that could be Workday or something along those lines, and a new hire is added. It's really straightforward. HR always know when people are joining the organization. They're a great source of truth for this information. They know when they're starting, they know what date they're starting, they know what teams and everything. So HR is a great starting point. So what happens is the HRIS system creates the user. That identity is created within JumpCloud. That happens instantly. And so it's tempting then to think, okay, well, that user's set up, we can kind of go away and let them get on with their life. But it isn't, because what happens is that user can maybe log onto their laptop, but they've got no applications. They've got no network shares. They've got access to no data or databases or SaaS applications. So what happens is this then creates manual tickets. So we're now, again, as we said, one of the things that we want to automate, which is service desk tier 1, we're now having to manually create tickets to go and deploy applications, usually one application at a time. This can take time, can create errors in the process, and it can take days. And it says there, if you're lucky, to get the correct apps deployed for new users. And so we're seeing that this infrastructure does exist, the identity does exist, but it's the gap within the middle that is the problem.
Thanks, Chris. I think it's pretty clear and very interesting to get also the result from the research you've made, and we understand that the gap is real, and the main objective for what I see it is how to leverage the right data in order to completely automate the provisioning. And that's why I wanted to show the work that we have done with the integration with Siit and JumpCloud in order to closing this gap. And once the Siit and JumpCloud are connected, it will give the full context in order to automate every single app access with AI. And that's actually the first part of our integration, is to unify the data. A lot of people see in the app access a workflow situation or a workflow issue to solve, where we see that the most important part, a data issue. All the data are spread among very different applications, but the first things that we are doing with this integration is that we are unifying this data into one single system of record in order to have an efficient AI to work with the right context to automate this process. The second part of the integration, once we have the context, is to provide this context to the AI in order to be able to execute every single action among the different applications. So when we receive the request from one of the employee, we know who is this employee, on which department, who is his manager, does he have access to this or this application. We are able to go to the knowledge base to find the right policy and the right way of setting up this integration. We are able to provision the action to a certain group in JumpCloud and do the full automation because we have the right context in the Siit application. And lastly, for the remaining requests, we are able through our workflow to be more proactive, to go and anticipate certain situations like the onboarding and offboarding of a new user. Those are the situations where the approvisioning or deprovisioning are very important, and those use cases where it happens a lot. So with our workflow and with the JumpCloud integration, we are able to plan certain of those situations and define completely the process in order to automate and be proactive in those situations and automate the approvisioning and deprovisioning in those situations. So that's actually a good overview of what the integration is doing. Now let's jump to the live demo and showing you how you can set up this in your organization. So I will share my screen. I have on one side the JumpCloud dashboard, and this is the Siit dashboard. So Siit, as a reminder, we are AI service desk. So this is the place where your team will receive all the requests. We'll be able also to set up every automation and work with our agent in order to manage every request that your team are receiving. On this platform, the first things that IT team will do is they will start by connecting the different application that they are using in their organization. So the Active Directory, the communication channel, the knowledge base, the HRIS, and obviously the JumpCloud integration. So we have two integration. The first one mission is to synchronize all the information from your employee and all the objects related to this information, like the application, the equipment, and it will keep synchronized live between the two systems. And the other one is to provide all the actions in order to perform action from in Siit to JumpCloud, and added those actions directly in our agent and in our workflow. So once you have connected those two integration, we will be able to synchronize the content and the data, as I say, and link this content to the employee, like the equipment, the manager, all the relevant information. You will have the full visibility on the activity of this employee, the information, the active application, and the equipment in one single view. Same with the application, all the application using internally, and same with your equipment, with a full inventory of your asset in the system. And once you have this context, at this stage, the AI is able to perform and do some work directly with the right context. So we have many different agents. I guess the one that we will focus today, it's our IT agent, where you will be able to define what we call playbooks. So playbook are all your processes. You see it in this list. So all the VPN access, reset password, Wi-Fi issue, Slack problem, app provisioning. So those are the typical requests that your team are usually managing. And here you will be able to define the process where you want the agent to follow in order to resolve this type of situation when they arrive. And as you can see, it's very simple. It's just text. You write your processes like you probably have done it already on the Notion pages. You define the different instruction, and the agent will be able to follow the instruction that you have explained and shared. This is a prompt, basically, where you give the different steps where you want the agents to follow, like identifying the application, adding the user to the right JumpCloud group. You can provide some example, confirm the provisioning, and if needed, escalate the ticket to the IT team. Okay, you have the different action on the right, very simple, easy to set up, and on every action, you have the ability to either let the agent perform the action or have an approval by the manager or by specific people in your team, for example, for the app provisioning. On this demo, I will let the agent perform the action. So once you have this playbook ready and live, you're good to go. And you can let directly your agent perform and manage your request automatically. So I will do an example. Maybe I can check on JumpCloud first. So I have Anthony. He has access to certain group. Let's wait for it. Tac. Okay, Salesforce, HubSpot, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't have access to Looker. So I'm going to make an example. Hello, I need access to Looker. Looker, please. Always being nice with the agent is very important. And as you can see, there is this small emoji. So the emoji is now is the agent that understand the request of the employee, go to find the right context of who is this employee, on which team, getting the full picture, finding the right playbook, and following the instruction to support the employee. So I just received the reply. You have been added to the Looker group. Looker, please check the app access provision, please. Okay, perfect. If I go back in JumpCloud and I'm doing a fresh, let's see, to have the confirmation also over here. Bim, the employee has been added to a Looker. You see, very simple. And every single request will be now managed this way. So usually your team need to receive this request, take some time, go checking the right information, go in JumpCloud and perform the action. Now the agent is able to perform every single processes that you have defined automatically without a human intervention, or either to get the approval, provide the approval from your team directly. So in few seconds, we managed to solve this request. And once you have the playbook ready, your team can just look at the logs, look at the different reply and question that it receive, and even go further to have the full reasoning of the agent. So you see, that was the question of the employee. It had executed this playbook. We see that he has performed this action, and the reply of the agent. You can also rate the agent reply in order to improve also his performance with the time. And from that, you can monitor the full execution of the agent and how he's doing job, and even go further with some analytics to see the resolution rate, all the metric related to the agent, in order to continuously improve your processes, improve the performance of the agent, see where is more effective and what still need to be automated through time. Okay, so that's actually how you can get this setup in few seconds. You connect your integration, you enable your playbook. We have a list of templates, so even templates specific to JumpCloud. So in one click, you can enable them and start and let the agent receiving the request and managing the request automatically. So now I guess we can go back to the presentation, because I think it's really interesting to see the setup, to see all the data and the theory that explain this issue, but it's even more interesting to hear it from someone that actually roll it out at scale in a real company with real constraint. And that's why David from Mirakl, you're here today. You did that exactly, and we would love to learn a little bit more from you. What was the situation? Obviously, we can start with that. What was the situation at Mirakl before you have implemented this new setup and start focusing on automated the app provisioning?
I'm very happy to be part of this session today. So I'm David Lepinay, the IT director, the IT corporate director at Mirakl. So I'm in charge of a lot of inside stuff like the onboarding, and many more stuff. So numbers are pretty clear. Before all this automation, Mirakl IT team had to perform more than 120 manual action every month by provisioning approx like eight apps per new hire across 15 monthly onboarding, something like that. So we had to notify each app owner one by one in order to check if it's relevant or not. So it was really painful with like no added value at this stage, so before the automation.
Okay, so it's the pain was really during the onboarding, right?
Yeah,
That where
during the
most of
onboarding.
your team was receiving the app provisioning.
It was full manual stuff, so painful, time consuming, and no added value for the team. Yes.
Okay, and how it was also for the day-to-day. So once the employee is in the organization, did your team receive also some app access, and how did you manage it the same way, one by one?
Yeah, before Siit, we were using an old-fashioned ticketing system with dedicated form for that, for the app access. It was like an EV process, not smooth. So with a lot of ticket for each request. So again, it was time consuming and not. It was not very nice for the team to handle all of this requests.
Okay, so yeah, I know those forms, and actually that was one of the reasons why we decided to launch Siit.
Yeah,
Those are,
I can
I
imagine.
imagine, just for you to confirm. So those are the forms where you need to put all the information, even your department, the reason why you need this application or not, and then you submit it and you wait for the answers
Yeah,
from the team. Okay, that was just wanted to
correct.
confirm that part.
First of all, you have to choose the right team. Is it a form for the IT or is it a form for the people team? It was not a smooth process. Thanks to Siit now.
Okay, cool. So, so that was the situation, I guess, before.
Yeah.
Now we want to maybe dig a little bit more on that the decision part. So when you have put that setup, and yeah, can you tell us a bit more about this phase of doing the transition?
Yeah, I decided to go live with the first automated workflow very fast because it was really easy to set up. So one of my colleagues, Guillaume, was in charge of the configuration, but the configuration is very easy to do, very smooth. So in 1 week, we were able to go live with the first workflow. The application, the first application was Salesforce, so very critical one. very demanded workflow. So this was my decision, and it was like a very nice success, because it permits us to push something new, something fresh, something very fast for all our Mirakl worker. So thanks to the configuration that is very easy to do and very easy to set up.
Okay, and maybe a question I didn't ask before. How many people do you have in your team today on the IT team, and to manage how many employees overall?
So today at Mirakl we are seven people. Okay, most of the team is based in Paris, and on the other side we have 2 people in Boston, and we are managing something like 800 Mirakl workers. Okay, that's it.
Okay, and you say that you have around like 14 new hires every month, right?
Yeah, something like that, depending on the months.
Okay.
Sometimes more, sometimes a bit less, but between 15 and 20 new hire per month. So yeah, sometimes it can be really time consuming. I think about the September. In September, we have a lot of internship. So sometimes we have like 30 new hire in September. So if we have to manually grant them access to 10 or 15 applications for each of these 30 people, it's a huge task load for the IT team.
Okay, so I guess that was one of the key elements to trigger the decision of changing, is you are looking for more efficiency within your team, right?
Correct. That's the main point. I want to automate this kind of process by using automated workflow with escalation, with validation of the app owner, like without doing anything on my side. So that was the thing.
Okay, cool. And you talked also about the employee. What was you talk about something providing a new product, fresh. What was the reaction of the Mirakl workers?
First of all, the main thing is it's fully integrated in Slack. So that's like magical for us. We use a lot Slack at Mirakl, and by being fully integrated in Slack, this is really powerful. The users are able to reach the IT team very fast, easily. A simple message to the bot, and then you are able to contact the IT team if needed. So first the bot, and after the ticket, of course. So that was the main magical feature of Siit, the Slack integration.
So I think that's a very important aspect, because and that's where I think you talked about magic, but I feel the same. So I feel that Siit is really providing a simple process for the employee, and you
Yeah.
have on the background JumpCloud that's really, the backbone of your identity, and where you have all your application and all the permission ready to use. So having the two connection, and that's also to answer the question of Chris on how to filling up this gap, is you simplify the entry point for the employee with your process, with an AI agent that is able to receive the request, trigger the automation, and you have in the backend JumpCloud that remain the place where you take care of your identity. And I think the two working make this feeling of having a magical process for the end user.
By streamlining all the process, this is very powerful for me and for my team. You have like a one entry point, which is Slack, that everybody is using on a daily basis, and then you can reach the IT team for some many stuff, and then after that, it will trigger JumpCloud if needed for the app access workflow, but for many other stuff too. So by streamlining all this process, this is like magical for me and for my team. So yeah, I appreciate
Nice.
this kind of behavior, of course.
And one thing also, did you at this time were looking about AI or implementing AI in your process or not yet?
Yes, of course, we use the AI agent from Siit, and we are implementing a lot of AI like everywhere at Mirakl. This is something that we have to do. We use a lot, of course, for different AI LLM. We use Claude. We use an automation tool, N8N, of course. So this is part of our identity now.
Okay, so it was really in your process of finding the solution and also implementing a process that also have the AI capabilities. I remember that it was an important factor to have from day one.
Yes, and we have to use AI everywhere at Mirakl. This is like mandatory for us. Yes, this is not like mandatory. It is mandatory. We have to use AI. We have to push AI, and if we do not do it, we can be in trouble. No, I'm joking, but yes, this is inside our culture now.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's a good culture. It's a culture that we see, I guess, in all the modern and efficient organizations. So I was sure about that. So okay, so we had what happened before with the old-fashioned process, your decision with the new setup, and what did you put in place in order to set up this automated app provisioning. And now let's talk about the result. What are the results? They are good or not?
They are really good. Today, Mirakl's onboarding is fully automated. New hires attribute dynamically trigger the right access. Every action is traceable through a full audit trail, and requests are processed like 24/7 with no human intervention required. So at the onboarding with the JumpCloud dynamic group, and just after the onboarding, when there is an app access request, everything is automated with no access, no action from my team. So this is, again, I like this word. This is like magical for me and my team. This is a fully automated world on my side about the app access request.
Okay, and can you maybe walk us through, a new hired experience? So when a new person join Mirakl, what will happen and what are the different interventions that you have on the IT team?
About the app access, I have like no more interaction. No, I'm joking. But so step one, based on the JumpCloud dynamic group, if you are member of the department GNA, so you are member of this JumpCloud group, and then you have directly access to this bunch of application. So that's wonderful, thanks to the JumpCloud dynamic group. And after that, if you need some dedicated application used in your department, and with some critical access that need escalation and validation, so you just need to reach the bot. I need an access to Salesforce. Then the bot will trigger automatically the right workflow by escalating the request to the app owner, asking a validation. And you can also put a note with a link to a dedicated Confluence page explaining what you have to do, what you have to read, what you have to care of. So this one is very important too. For some critical app, we ask users first to read the security guidelines, and then after that, the app owner will grant the access by pressing approve on Slack. Automatically, the access is granted without action from the IT team. So it's a magical word for me.
Okay, nice. And actually, there was a question, a pretty tricky question. We were supposed to take the question at the end, but I think it's an important one. How do you handle the non-SSO application? So probably the access requests that fall outside these automated rules, because there was no SSO, and probably you have to do it manually. How do you handle that part?
Yeah, so this one is okay. So for this kind of request, we have to do some manual action. So the request is handled by the bot. We have an FAQ page with a lot of our typical requests on the page. The bot is able to read all of these requests, and the bot is able to answer the request by sending a request to the app owner, and then the app owner will handle the request, and of course it will have to manually grant the access to the app by connecting to the application and send an invitation. So yes, so the first part of the process is still handled by the bot, and after the second part of the process is handled by the app owner, and it will have to grant the access manually.
No, I think it's a pretty interesting point, and in a certain way, it's automated because the agent, the AI agent, is able to qualify already, to probably follow the instruction that you have in your Confluence page, and also sending and escalating the ticket to the right team, or the right app owner, sorry, to save some time, speed up the process. And in this way, you are automating the first part that is quite painful and saving time. But you're right, the end of the process still need to be done manually, obviously, for those specific applications. But the idea is to automate still the first part to save some time. That's right, David?
Yes, correct. That's it.
Okay, cool. And you talked about the implementation results. How do you monitor that? Do you have a dashboard? How do you monitor that part, and also the performance of your team overall in this specific process?
Yeah, we monitor the answer from the bot, because sometimes we have to adjust some configuration. We have to check if the process is fully working well or not. So at the beginning of the process, we were able to check if everything went well. So it's pretty smooth. So one of my colleagues is monitoring day by day if everything is correct. But after 4 months now, we do not need to touch the workflow. The only thing that we have to do is adding a new application in the catalog. That's it. So now, after 4 months, I can say that the configuration is stable and working very well.
Right, it's very, very cool, and also I think that's where we're heading with the AI era. The team is really here as the expert doing the monitoring, optimizing a little bit the model, optimizing the context part by providing the right information, and then after the process is the execution part were done manually every time is done by the agent, and always keeping the human in the loop if needed for validation and so on. So really saving time in this part, and having your team doing some more work on automation, on strategic moves.
Yeah, correct. That's a good point. So we have more time to do automation for other projects now, thanks to that all this configuration that gave us more time to do more project stuff, more automation on other application. So we have more free time for more coffee and more other stuff. Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Did you add other points you wanted to highlight on the result, or can we go to the Q&A part?
No, we can go to the Q&A part.
Okay, so I guess that's the last part of this this live. Yeah, so I guess we can talk about also the framework quickly. So we have prepared this framework also for you to maybe go in this direction, and what are the different steps that you need to follow in order to be able to fully automate the app provisioning. And for that, I think the first part is to have a good visibility and map your app inventory. And I guess that's the first step, is the understanding the application that you have, have an understanding on what are the different assets that you have in your organization, and do this audit part to map the right information. Then the audit identity lifecycle gap, to see the different processes, the flow, where there is a new hire, where there is a role change, an offboarding. So what are the different life cycle where the identity and the app access has an impact. So once you have the app inventory, the identity lifecycle visibility, you can, and I guess it's a really complicated part, probably the most complicated part, is to measure the provisioning cost. So to get some understanding on what is the cost actually, what is the cost of the provisioning in your organization. It's a silent cost that if you don't do the exercise, you won't be able to measure. And for that, we have a simple equation that you can look: the average time per request, the request that you are getting, and the cost of someone in your team that is doing that manually every day. So if we take 200 requests per month and saying that it's 15 minutes of an IT manager, at the end you get the final result. And this cost is very important, because after that you will have to go and talk to your CFO and justify the solution or the new process that you want to put in place. And with these specific figures, you are able to justify that and also provide that to your C-level, that you are saving some money in the organization and you're becoming more efficient. Okay, so once you have that part, the idea is to get the validation and start identifying the different workflow that you want to put in place, and where this combination of the request management and the identity access management makes sense. So everything related to password reset, the change of resetting of access to a certain application, the new hire, the onboarding, the offboarding, all those workflows where the app access make a lot of sense. You need to identify them and start building the integration, connecting the different source of truth, your HIRs first, the identity access management in one side, and finally the service desk. So that's, as I say at the beginning of my presentation, the idea is really to get the data right, to unify the data, and once you have unified the data, starting building your process. It's really on this way, and don't think about the process and put in place a workflow if you didn't manage to get the data and the right data point right in your organization. So that's it for the framework. Maybe we can take 1 or 2 minutes with the question. I answered one already that was in the chat. If you had more, feel free to add it directly. We will answer them. But I had already a question for you, David. I don't know also, Chris, if you had one, feel free to jump in. But one for you, David. What are the next big projects or current project that your team is focusing on at Mirakl?
About the ticketing system.
No, overall, what are the big priority of your team currently, and yeah, one of your current objective?
Okay, I have two main things. First of all, we are renewing all our meeting room system at Mirakl. So this is like a big part. We use a lot, of course, as you can imagine. We have a lot of meeting room with a lot of equipments, and we are replacing all desk equipments across Paris, Munich, London, Boston. So it's like a big project with more than 50 rooms to move to a new type of equipment. So we were using a specific meeting room system, and we are moving to a new one. I can't give you names at this stage. And on the other side, we are pushing a lot on the automation. I know that my colleagues are working a lot on N8N with Cloud. So these two applications working together are doing magical stuff again. So this is my word, magical. And we are able to create a very powerful workflow. This workflow will save us a lot of time by doing a lot of automated stuff, taking the information on the left, pushing the information on the right automatically for a lot of different departments. That will be very efficient.
Cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Chris, any question on your side?
Not a question, but it was really interesting. Thanks for that, David. I really like the point that you mentioned on the slide about no added value and some of these kind of repeatable tasks that are ripe for automation. And then the benefit of that, the flip side, is that then gives you those resources back to do more of the more detailed, push more automation and AI into different areas just by using the resources that you're saving from not taking those really entry-level tasks. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. If I guess it's a way to look at it. If it's not adding value, then why have you paid for someone to do that, right?
Yeah, correct.
Makes sense. And on your side, Chris, what are the next big thing on JumpCloud that we can expect?
Lots is changing. As you can imagine, a lot of it is AI. A little like David mentioned. That's from our CEO, who I know that you know, downwards. It's everything is AI. We're encouraged to use it for everything in every portion of the business and to utilize it. So everything that we're doing is kind of AI centric now, and I think that's going to start to show some huge dividends in the not too distant future. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think we're sharing the same roadmap, Chris. Same on our side. We're doing big investment and effort on AI and planning to launch some really cool feature pretty soon. And also, a quick teasing, we are planning to do a big release regarding app access and app policies. That's something that will simplify even more the app access and provide more control to the IT team. David, obviously, you will be one of the first to know, and that's something we're planning to announce hopefully in the coming weeks. So probably will be the topic for another webinar. But again, I saying that we went a bit over time, but it was really great, very interesting. Thank you very much, David, for your testimonial. We are really happy. I guess we share that with Chris. We are very happy to count Mirakl as one of our customer. Very happy also, and thanks, Chris, for the partnership, and very excited about what we are building together with JumpCloud. And I guess there are still some pretty cool things coming up in the future. So thank you both for joining today. I hope you liked it. We will share the recording to everyone in the probably end of the day. But thank you very much, and wish you a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good day. Bye. It was a pleasure.